or Nations League League A prediction. Hello guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be doing League A, Group 1, 2, 3 and 4. There's 4 leagues. So in today's video we're going to be predicting League A. That is the best league, you know, the best teams are in that league. So it's going to be interesting. Very excited to predict it. England are in this one, which is very interesting. So should we go start off with League A Group 1? Austria, Croatia, Denmark and France. You know, you have one team. To be fair, you have some teams there where you know you're unsure. You don't know who's going to win that game, and definitely this is one of the groups. You know, we've got France. Let's start with France. They are a very strong side, very strong. They are one of the best in the business, and you know, France can either be good on one. They are so good on like they're so good over a majority of games, but then they just have that one game, that Switzerland for example, where they just slip up. That few games against not Finland, it was like in the World Cup qualifiers where they just didn't look too convincing when they have amazing player names, Kante, Mbappe, Benzema, Griezmann, Lloris, Varane. They have all these players. And I just don't know what happens. Sometimes they just don't click. And honestly, that could happen in this group. And this group is so tight. One slip up could cost you from being relegated from Group A. Or whatever it is, whatever they do in this Nations League. Or, you know, going to the next round. It's so close. And, you know, France are very good side. But Denmark, you're on another team, Denmark, who are just such a underrated team. They are so underrated, and they're not even in the underrated category. They're in the very good or very good category, because the way they played in the Euros, they got to semi-finals and losing on as an England fan, I would say a penalty, but it was a dodgy penalty. It wasn't a convincing shout for a penalty. But yeah, that's how they lost. They may have lost after that, but you know, Denmark are just very good. They are a very good unit, and they come together. When things go against them, they fight as together as a unit. And then moving on to Croatia, you know, half decent side. You know, a lot of their players are aging. A lot of their good players are, you know, late 20s, early 30s. Modric, Rebic. They don't have too many young star talents that I'm too aware of. They've got a few alright players, but they're just not all too convincing, the Croatian team. They're just not all too convincing, which, you know, Croatia, yeah, it's not brilliant. They have, you know, Modric, Vida, who's aging, Kovacic aging, Rebic aging. They've got a few alright players that are, you know, young, but a lot of their, you know, big star players are losing, are in the late 30s, late 20s, early 30s. So yeah, they're not an all too convincing side, Croatia. They're not like they were in the 2018 World Cup, when Modric was in his prime. You know, Mandzukic, I can't say his name. Was in his prime. Rebic was in his prime, but a few of them now are starting to lose. In Austria, probably, you know, you look on paper and you say, yeah, Austria fall. They are just not on the level of these teams, and you may be right, but they do have a few good players. Let me find. Yeah, they have a few, you know, good players. They have Alaba, Arnautovic, few other alright players, Spitzer there as well. Yeah, they are just not too convincing. Batchman from Watford, I believe. So they have a few alright, decent players, decent names, But yeah, so let's now get into my table prediction. For me, fourth Austria. I just don't see. I don't know. I just don't see Austria living up to the other team's expectations, the other team's talent. So yeah, Austria 4 for me. It's tough between third and second. Denmark and I'm gonna go Croatia third, and Denmark second. I think Denmark just have enough when they play against them. They just have enough to win the game. First for me, France. I think France will do it. They'll win the game, not convincingly, not the way they want to win. Want to win the group, but I think they will win it. The group. I think they'll win the group. Yeah. Moving on to Group 2, and that consists of Czech Republic, Portugal, Spain, and Switzerland. This is a group of some underrated teams. I think Czech Republic are, very underrated. They got a few very, very good names. And Switzerland are also very underrated. Switzerland, what they did in the Euros, start with Switzerland. The way what Switzerland did in the Euros was absolutely fantastic. They drew to Wales, lost to Italy, but then dominated Turkey, got through in the third place, and then beat France, and only just lost to Spain on penalties. This Switzerland, and then not just that, they knocked Italy off first spot in the World Cup qualifiers to get them top spot. For them not to get into the playoffs. For them to automatically qualify. And in the end, Switzerland pretty much knocked Italy out of the World Cup. Italy will not be in the World Cup because of North Macedonia. But Switzerland are unreal. They are such an underrated side. You think two underrated sides. Denmark and Switzerland. They're the two underrated sides that literally spring to my mind. Switzerland, their players are they got some very underrated players. Shaqiri, these players just all perform when they play for their nation. Shaqiri, Xhaka, Sommer, Embolo, Rodriguez, their wingback. Gavranic, one of their star players. Zuba, Seferovic, Fabian Schär. They have some very good, convincing names in that squad, and Switzerland are a team you cannot write off. Moving on to Spain, and in the Euros they did alright. They picked out a few results here and there, but the problem with Spain, and I have with Spain, is they create tons and tons and tons of chances, but they just don't find the finishing cut, the finishing edge. So that's a problem for me with Spain. They are just not all too convincing. They did well in the Euros. I think they drew their first two, then thrashed Slovakia, and then had a very good game with Croatia, then just beat Switzerland, then just lost Italy. So they had a very good Euros with Spain. If they can find that striker, you can't buy a striker, but if they somehow a Spanish player comes through the roots through a team and does really well, then you can call him up, and you just need out of nowhere striker to appear, because Morata is not all too convincing. You got Torres, Ferran Torres, you got him, but you don't play him up front. You play usually him on the wing. He is a winger. So yeah, Spain have some good names. Busquets is in there as well. David De Gea as well, who's carried United this season. So definitely an eye to watch out for Spain. A very good side, and to see how they do in the Nations League and also the World Cup. Moving on to Portugal. Portugal, very good side, very good side. They have a stacked squad. They don't play all too well together. Look on paper, they're brilliant. They got Cristiano Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Pepe, João Felix, Jota, Diego Costa, the goalkeeper. Renato Sanchez, Bernardo Silva, Cancelo, Diaz. Their team is stacked. Coutinho if you need. Andre Silva, the striker if you need. They have just got such a stacked squad, Portugal. They just don't play all too well as a unit, and that's the problem with Portugal. They just do not play brilliant. They don't shine out of everyone else, which is a real shame because, for me, Portugal will be very good if they play well as a unit. Ronaldo is one of the one of the best in the world, or if not the best, depending on your opinion. Messi or Ronaldo. I'm a Ronaldo fan, so for me, he's the best in the world at the moment. They've got Bruno Fernandes, who's a Man United player, plays very well. João Felix, number one. Jota's played fantastic in Liverpool. Portugal race that squad to see how they do. Moving on to the last one in Group 2, and that's Czech Republic. And you look at this group, you think, yeah, they are, on paper, they're not the best out of this group. But you look at them in the Euros, they actually played really well. I think they got knocked out in the quarterfinals, I believe. They beat Netherlands. Their squad isn't like you think, oh, this is the best squad, but they just play well as a unit. They got Patrick Schick, who's just unreal at times. Souček, Baric, Vasic. Got all the X and the X, the X and the X and the X. Kufel as well. They got some very, very good names. So Czech Republic definitely a team to be worried about. They're not a pushover. So they have to watch out. This the three other teams. Moving on to the table prediction. They are a good side. They are a good side. Czech Republic, but I'm going to put them fourth, just based on the other teams. For me, just have enough against them. So for me, fourth, Czech Republic. Third, Portugal. And it may come as a surprise. I'm going to be reacting to this as well when it's all over, but Portugal for me. Portugal. You may be thinking, James, why? Why Portugal? Because they just don't play well as a unit. They have, very good star players, Jota and all that. I don't need to name them because you all know them. But they are just not that good as a unit. They don't play together. Together, they don't play. And that's the problem with this Portuguese side. In second, I'm going for Switzerland. Switzerland, for me, will have over them. Switzerland, some people are like, not hyping up Switzerland, but people are like seeing Switzerland. People are just not seeing Switzerland. They're thinking this group, Spain, Portugal, easy, first and second. No. We need to end this. We need to put a stop to that. Switzerland are so criminally underrated. They are unbelievable. They've knocked out France in the Euros, Italy out the World Cup, and you think Portugal are better than that? Switzerland for me second. Spain, just based on how many times they create chances, I think Morata will finally stick a few away. For me, Spain will be first. So Czech Republic last. And you may be saying I'm underrated. I'm just not really looking at Czech Republic, and you may be right there. Honestly, Czech Republic could do well here. But yeah, Czech Republic for me fourth. Portugal third. Switzerland second, and Spain first. Moving on to League 3, and that consists of England, Germany, Hungary, and Italy. Is the revenge on for England? I think it will be. Should we go into Italy first? And you can win the Euros. Well done. Can you qualify for the World Cup? No. So you can shove your spaghetti up your ass. It's honestly, Italy are so poor at finishing, and they're not poor at finishing because they do bury loads of their chances. But the way they played against South Macedonia, they dominated 32 shots, I think it was, and they lost. That's the problem with Italy. Sometimes you just don't take your chances, and it just didn't go in for them that day. It's not like it's Spain and just not finished their dinner. On that day, it just wouldn't go in. There was a barrier in their goal, and it just didn't go in. It was unlucky for Italy. You're not in the World Cup, which is a real shame for the Italians. And honestly, I'm a bit salty that you beat us in the Euros, but unlucky. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, unlucky for Italy, for not qualifying for the World Cup. It'll be very, very good for you to be in the World Cup. So I want to see how well you do in the World Cup, because you rarely qualify for the World Cup. I think it's a joke how you do so well in the Euros, but just don't qualify for the World Cup. I think you need to. Switzerland knocked you out of the park. Simple as that. But yeah, Italy, you know, very good side. Very good side. No one can underestimate Italy. They have the age of their two centre backs combined is older than my grandma. So yeah, they're old. They're not old. They're combined are 70, so they're not that old. But you know, combined two footballers, 37 and like 34, something like that, 36 and 34, something like that. You know, they have some very old centre backs for footballers. So yeah, moving on to moving on to Hungary. Very underestimated side. What they did in the Euros was unbelievable. You know, due to France and due to Germany, very good results there. They didn't qualify for the World Cup. I think they were in our group in the World Cup. And I don't think they did all too well. I've got it up here. How well did they do? They finished 4th, behind Albania, but only 3 points off Poland. So no, they didn't have an all too bad run. But yeah, they're a good side, Hungary. A very underestimated side. They got a good team, ish. Yeah, Styles from Barnsley. They got Najo, Adam. They got a few alright players. A few I don't really all to know much about. But yeah, moving on to Germany. And they're in our group. Is England, Germany again. I think that's our first game as well. No, it's England. Gosh darn it. It's us against Hungary first, and then Germany, then Italy. Yeah, so very interesting. So you know, Germany. We beat them in the Euros, but if Thomas Müller didn't miss that chance, it would have been a completely different story. We could have lost that game if Thomas Müller didn't miss that chance. They were such a stacked squad. Neuer, Ter Stegen is their backup keeper. Kai Havertz, Müller, Kroos, Werner, Royce, Rudiger, Sané, Kimmich, Gundogan, Gnabry. They have such a good squad, Germany, and with a new manager, I want to see how well they do. I'm very worried about playing them. We play them on Tuesday. I think it's in 2 weeks we play them. So that'll be interesting. 2 weeks today. Let me know if you want me to do like a reaction to it, like we did with Teddy and Jack. If you want me to do that, because I'll happily do that. But yeah, should we get into Britannia rolls away. England. We are a very stacked squad. You know, we wiped out our World Cup qualifiers group. We're easily through. We got one of the best. We got the best striker in the world. One of the best strikers in the world. At least the top 3 strikers in the world. You know, we're just taking a bit of Jack Grealish there, Mason Mount there, Mark Guay there, Trent, Reece James, Foden, Harry Maguire. Raheem Sterling, Marcus Rashford will take as well, Conor Gallagher, Pickford, Rice, Sancho. I can end the whole bloody team, can't I? We have such a stacked squad, and it's criminal. You cannot. No one will ever underestimate this England squad. It is unbelievable. And it's got Germany, and England, Germany, which is going to be fascinating. England, Hungary, fascinating, and England, Italy, fascinating. I think honestly, we are so good, and the World Cup is coming home. I've got the flag beside me. I always wake up, and I know where I'm from and why I'm English. Because we'll win the World Cup. We'll win everything in front of us. We'll win the Nations League. We'll win the Euros in about 2 years' time, and we'll win the World Cup in just less than 7 months, 6 months. It actually starts in less than 6 months. So yeah, should we get to my table prediction? Honestly, this is tough because you can't go with Hungary, but I am just gonna go with Hungary fourth. Me fourth, Hungary. They're a good side, but they just have to contest with Germany, England, and Italy. For me, they are third, fourth even. Now, oh god, this is tough. I do think England will win. I'm gonna go Germany third, and I'm gonna not biasy at all. We are better than Germany. Full stop. We are better than Germany. Honestly, you know, I think we are. I know we just beat them in the Euros 2-0. I think we have the edge on them now. I think, you know, at times Germany were here. Germany was this top one. And I think over the next few years, I think we'll keep going up and up. I think we're around here now. And I think we'll just keep going up and up and up and up and up. And just start, you know, we started down here. We were always getting battered by Germany. We've gone up, and now we're going to be here in the next few years. I think we'll have the edge over Germany. Second, Italy. I think Italy are bottle merchants sometimes. They just bottle stuff. They didn't bottle the Euros, but they bottled the World Cup. So yeah, for me, it's going to be Italy second and England, 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 England. England, 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 England first. I think we'll win it. Biasy maybe. I don't know. Is it biasy? I don't actually know. I'm moving on to Group 4, the last one of this video. Wales, Poland, Netherlands, and Belgium. Starting off with Wales. You know, they're not, you know, overly brilliant as a squad. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be in here and say that. But yeah, they're not bad. They're not good. You know, Gareth Bale aging, Ramsey aging, Daniel James is decent, Allen aging, Ben Davis at Tottenham, he's looking alright. You know, doing a name for himself. They've got Harry Wilson as well. Nico Williams, who's very good. Brennan Johnson from Nottingham Forest, very good. Kiefer Moore, very good. Joe Allen, I said that. Connor Roberts, Ampadu, Hennessy. They just don't really have a. They have a young goalie. Danny was up. Yeah, he's Danny. They got. I don't know if they have. They have a bit of a goalie crisis and have that. You know, young of a goalie. So yeah, moving on to Poland. I know really Lewandowski FC, aren't they? Not brilliant. Not good. They're not bad, but they're not good at the same time. They're just pretty average. Yeah, it's going to be interesting for me. Poland, they're just not brilliant, but they're not bad. Moving on to Netherlands, Van Dijk, Depay. They've got a very stacked squad, Netherlands. Very stacked squad. And you've got to watch out for them because, honestly, they could just do anything. They put their mind to it. Any team could do anything and put their mind to it, but Netherlands, they had the Euros without Van Dijk, and they still did good. So yeah, Netherlands, yeah, Belgium, stacked squad. Who do they have? Who did they have again? Is there someone like called KDB or something like that? Eden Hazard, KDB, Lukaku, Courtois, Witsel, Torgan Hazard, Doku, Batshuayi, Alderweireld, Origi, Mertens, Tielemans, Vertonghen, Carrasco. They just have such a stacked squad, Belgium, and this is their last dance, really, because a lot of their centre backs are aging. They're just not an all too convincing side anymore. You know, Belgium, they are a good side, but yeah. Moving on to my table prediction. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to go fourth, Poland. Big alert, big shout. Poland fourth, Wales third, Netherlands second, and Belgium first. That's my table. I just don't think Poland have enough. I think Wales are better than Poland. Is that just me, or do you think Wales is better than Poland? They have a lot more convincing names than Poland. Poland, all they have is Lewandowski, and that's all they have pretty much. So they're not a brilliant side. So yeah, that wraps up my table prediction for League A. League B will be uploaded tomorrow. We've got some interesting groups there. And then we've got League D and C as well. There's only about 2 groups in League D, so that's gonna be a short video. But yeah, that wraps it up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.